And so I thought, you know what? Let's have Ephraim on the show, because I think it would be nice for him. I'd like for you to see what everyday heroes sound like. And I think it would be a good idea for him to understand what a wellspring of support there is out there. Ephraim.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you, Michael.
I have to tell you, I posted on my Facebook page this morning. We are closing in on about 20,000 fans on our Facebook page. And I posted on there, and I said, hey, look, I'm going to have Ephraim, the guy. I didn't mention your name, but I said we're going to have the guy on the air that shot these three guys, and I put a link to the Channel 13 story. They had a good piece on the story.
Mm-hmm.
And you wouldn't believe – I've not gotten through all the emails yet. It'll take me till the end of this show, and they're probably going to keep coming in. People went to michaelberry.com, sent me an email. But people were so supportive of you. I mean, to the person. They were so supportive of you. In fact, some people suggested that they do True Grit Part 2 and cast you as Rooster Cogburn. What do you think of that?
I don't know about that. I was just trying to protect my wife and 2 kids. Just
and you know
doing
what?
my job.
Let's talk about that, Ephraim. First of all, fill in the blanks for me. Who is Ephraim? Tell me a little bit about you.
Well, I'm 34 years old, and I work 6-7 days a week.
What do you do?
I sell books
for whom?
To all the school districts.
You make any money doing that?
Excuse me?
Do you make any money doing that?
It's an honest living, and it pays the bills.
Okay. And is this inside sales? Like you're already set up with an appointment when you go there, or you got to go knock on door and go?
Oh, no, sir. I've knocked on all the doors. It wasn't an overnight thing. It's more of I get paid on commission, so it's hard work.
Okay. Does your wife work?
Yes, sir.
What does she do?
She works for Starbucks.
Oh, does she really?
Yes.
Oh, well, we'll have to go out. We'll have to go check out her barista skills. Is that a good job? You get benefits there.
They have really good benefits. That's partly why she's there.
Are y'all on her benefits or yours?
I'm all on hers. I don't have insurance. She does.
You know, I saw a piece, Ephraim, on MSNBC does these business profiles, and they did a piece on Starbucks and how Starbucks came to be. And it was about, I don't know if you know, do you know the story about how Starbucks grew to be this massive company?
No, I can't recall I do.
Well, the short version is this. There was the company that was Starbucks Coffee, and then there was this guy that he kind of broke off and he was doing his thing, and he came back and he wanted to buy the retail coffee shop because he believed after his trip to Italy that he could make this thing, something that every neighborhood had. Well, the Starbucks folks wanted to sell coffee grounds. They didn't want to be retailers. And he came back in and bought them out. And it talked about over the years some of the things he did, and he created this image of the company as a place where when you walked in, you didn't have to, it wasn't like some low-rent diner where you felt bad for the people working there. It was a company where when you walked in the door, you knew that the people working there had benefits, they made decent money, they showed you how much they love working there. It's a pretty interesting concept. Yeah. All right, so you've been married for how long?
I've been with my wife for about 12 years now.
All right.
And we have 2 little kids. One's turning 2 on Thursday this week, and the other one just turned 7 on the 24th of December. So.
I'm sorry, how old are they again?
Almost 2. One's turning almost 2 on this Thursday on the 6th, and the other one's 7 years old.
And a boy and a girl?
2 boys.
2 boys. All right.
Yes, sir.
So you own the house where you pulled up?
Yes, sir.
So you pull up to the house that you own at what time of day?
About approximately around 7-ish.
Okay, and where have you been at that point?
We were at the Willowbrook Mall.
Okay, did you buy anything?
Yes, we did, sir. And I just got back from that store, and I told them I chewed him out for not letting me know about the thing that you can actually pick up that item in the back instead of walking it inside the mall.
Okay.
And,
so you make some purchases.
Yes, sir. And then these thugs followed me all the way to my house. And
so they followed you from Willowbrook Mall?
All the way, yes, sir.
How do you know that?
One of the guys that I caught saying, as soon as he was apprehended, he started spilling the beans. So.
Okay, we'll get to that in a moment because that's sort of a high point in the story to me. Did you tell anybody you were going to be on the show today?
No, sir.
Okay, I was just curious what kind of feedback you got. So, all right, I don't want to have to stop you in the middle of that story. So give me just a moment, and I want you to tell for our listeners exactly what happened from the moment you came back till the moment blood's pouring out all over the floor and this guy's squealing like a stuck pig. I want you to take us through that, and then some more things I want to talk to you about. Ephraim, can you hold with me for just a moment?
Sure.
All right. Our guest this first hour is, you know what, Ephraim, how do you say your last name?
It's Del Rosario.
Oh, Del Rosario. Okay, that's what I had a T at the end, and that didn't make sense. I was trying to figure out. Okay. All right. Ephraim Del Rosario is our guest. He is the gentleman, the homeowner, who was protecting his wife and 2 kids when 3 intruders came up, and there's a good song here somewhere. And 2 ran away, and 1 didn't quite make it. All right, Ephraim, walk us through. Now remember, this is theater of the mind, so we're imagining ourselves in our minds. You're driving back from Willowbrook Mall. Walk me through. What are y'all talking about? What are you doing? At what point do you notice a car? Start me off. You're driving back to the house. Are you and the wife arguing? Are the kids screaming? Are they being cranky? I mean, what's happening?
The one's passed out, the youngest one, and then the other one was playing his games, and we pulled up in the driveway, and this red Mustang passes over, and he looked pretty suspicious because in our neighborhood nobody plays their music really loud. And then he makes a U-turn.
So he's got his windows down?
No, he's got his windows up.
And you can still hear his music?
Yes.
Oh, he's got that busted speaker sound. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yes, sir.
Oh, so, you should have shot him just for that's irritating. That in and of if you'd have just pulled out and just shot the tires out, I wouldn't have been mad at you. That's irritating. But anyway, go ahead. You and I might have a different idea of what the proper use of force is. But go ahead.
So as soon as he starts making a U-turn and he couldn't make it all the way, and I told my wife, me and my wife already had a drill to where if something's ever to happen, walk or run away from me, fire, and I'll handle the situation. I'm trying to get, that's what I told her. If there's any altercation in anybody, walk as far or run as far away from me so I can draw the fire towards me instead of towards them.
So y'all have talked about this before?
Yes, sir. That's what they teach you at the handgun license.
Absolutely. But most people don't come home and teach it to their spouse. I'm impressed. How long ago had you had that conversation?
2 years ago.
And it stuck in your mind?
Every time we go to the mall or anywhere that we go to, we practice that drill. So she knows.
Okay. And then you pull up, and this car is they're creeping through the neighborhood.
And then I opened the back of my Suburban. I was going to unload my stuff, but there's just something weird about that car making a U-turn, so I paused for a minute. And I was waiting for them to pass, and they didn't pass. They just stopped right there in front of me. And with an instinct, I just ran away from my family, and they ran the opposite way, and I see this guy with a gun out with his mask over his face, and I started shooting. Okay,
wait. I didn't understand that. I'm sorry. Somebody was sending me some information about the case. I have to tell you, law enforcement is has been very, very interested in this case.
I did not. I ended up not hitting anybody.
Well, no, I know. But do you know much about the background of these guys?
No, sir.
Well, apparently they're not very good guys. But anyway, I'll get to that in a minute. All right, so you pull in, And I was distracted by an email. Let me start over at that point, Ephraim. They circle again?
No, they only did one U-turn. They turned around because they passed my house.
Okay. And there's 3 of them in there?
I think there was 4. And,
that's right. Yeah. I did read that. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And then, as soon as they made that U-turn, they stopped right in front of the driveway. The passenger door opens. This guy comes out with a mask on. That's when I run towards the road to get away from my family. So if they start shooting, they're not going to get shot, hopefully. Okay,
so your family is still outside at this point?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
They were with me, and so my wife runs the opposite way while I was running the opposite way, and that's when I fell and drew my gun and started shooting.
So she's still outside while this is going on?
Yes, sir.
And there's only one of them that gets out of the car?
Well, they were all, I don't know, it was just so fast, and then everybody jumped back in that car.
I bet they did.
But I shot the car to where it was disabled, and then everybody just decided to run, and then I ended up. These were just delinquent kids, and I didn't want to. I don't feel like I felt sorry for one of the kids that caught. You know, seeing how young he was, I guess, got cold feet when I saw how young that kid was.
Well, I can understand that. Obviously, you don't want to have to kill somebody. You probably at that moment, it flashed in your mind that this is somebody's kid. He's gone woefully wrong. This could have turned out an altogether different way. So,
the first thing the kid said is, "They're not with me." He's shouting this at me while I told him to get down on the ground on his face. So
have they driven off at this point, or they've run off?
No, they ran off.
Okay, so there's the car in your driveway,
leaking gas.
Leaking gas because you shot into the block.
Yes, sir. Okay. No, I shot from the rear, so I shot their gas tank. Ah,
okay, all right. And gas is gushing or dripping out?
It was empty. The tank was empty.
We're talking to Ephraim Del Rosario. He's the homeowner who, along with his wife and 2 sons, were coming back from Willowbrook Mall. 3 thugs think they're going to rob him, and he starts firing, hits the car, disables it. Two or three of them run off, and why is the one left there? Because you drew down on him? He's afraid you're going to shoot him?
Yes. He just froze.
Okay. At this point, you still think he has a live gun, right?
Yes, sir, of course.
Is he still pointing it at you?
No, sir. I told him he pretty much cooperated whatever I told him he did. So I told him get on the ground, put your head on the ground, lie down on the ground, and he did whatever I told him, and I had no problems with that.
Okay. And are you approaching him at this point?
Yes, sir. And then after that, my neighbor comes out with his wife with 2 guns on hand.
This is the wrong neighborhood to be messing with.
That's what I told him. I was like, you guys are in the wrong neighborhood. Those were my exact words. Everybody's got guns over here.
And did you know your neighbor before that?
Oh, yes, sir. We usually, they have 2 kids as well, and I told them if they ever needed anything, give me a call or holler if there's anything that, we have a community website to where we know what's going on in our community.
Right.
If there's a suspicious car, we usually put that out.
So you live in Cypress Creek Lakes?
Yes, sir.
All right, well, just one moment, Ephraim. I know we have some criminals who listen to the show. I know some of you get amped up on the show, and you ride around listening to the show and then breaking into homes. Just a little tip to you. Don't go to Cypress Creek Lakes. You may not you may not like the way it turns out. It's kind of interesting because a buddy of mine lives in Katy, and his house was being broken into, and the guy goes in and hangs out for a while, makes himself a sandwich, gets comfortable, watches Ricky Lake or whatever's on during the day. And I know it's not Ricky Lake, but whatever is on during the day. And the neighbor sits and watches it. And later when the police come by to say, hey, you need to be careful because his house was broken into, the neighbor goes, oh, yeah, I watched it. So y'all have a reciprocation agreement there. Not all neighborhoods do. So I'm unclear. Does he still have this, what you think is a live gun at this point, or has he dropped it?
Oh, what I found out later was it was a BB gun.
Yeah, I know, but is he still holding it in his hand?
No, sir.
He's thrown it down.
That's the first thing they did was they threw it down in the back seat.
Oh, okay. All right. So you get him out, he's on the ground, and your neighbor comes running out. He's ready. He's fired up.
He's ready. He was ready. Him and his wife, they both had their piece with them.
Is she armed at this point?
Oh, yeah.
I have to tell you, where'd you grow up?
I grew up, I came here when I was 10 years old from the Philippines. Very poor. And
well, I have to tell you, this is a scene right out of Orange. I mean, you don't have burglaries in rural Orange, Texas, because you understand that the chance that the homeowner could be inside carrying around a portable tank of oxygen with tubes in the nose and the ears and in the chest, and that kind. You know how when people get old and their skin tears easily, and like their chest and their hands, the top of their hands is all kind of blue. It just stays kind of. Even people like that, dragging one leg, amputated the other, one eye's out and the other one has cataract, even those people sit around with a cocked pistol at all times. So you understand you don't do that. But I've never seen anything like this in Houston where the neighbors are all coming out. This inspires me, I have to tell you. Okay, so the neighbors come out, and is your wife staying inside during all this?
Hey,
she's got to be scared out of her mind. She's got two kids.
She's already inside with the kids, talking to the cops.
Okay. How long before the cops get there?
It seemed like a long time, but it wasn't long at all. It probably less than 5 minutes, at least. Less than 5 minutes they were there.
And is he relieved that they get there because at least now he can just be arrested and hauled off?
Yeah, I'm sure. He's probably saying to himself that I'm just glad I'm alive. Nobody shot me here.
And so at this point, they cuff him and stuff him and send him up. Does he tell you anything else during this exchange that kind of stuck with you?
Well, the first thing he told me was, I don't even know those guys.
Oh, okay. Because they're bad guys and he's not? Was that it?
That's probably what he was trying to get to, and but I didn't care at that time. I just wanted him gone, arrested. So
do you still have your gun out at this point?
No, sir. The police, the sheriffs took it for their investigation.
I have received. I'm just scanning some emails. I have received probably 125 emails since you've been on the air, which is a lot for a very short period of time. And at least 10 of them, just scanning through, are asking what kind of gun and what caliber you were carrying.
I was carrying a .40 Smith & Wesson.
Okay. And you secreted it under your how did you have the gun in your waistband without them seeing that?
I wear a pretty big shirt, so it doesn't look like it's bulging out or anything, and I tuck it inside my pants. I have a gun pouch that I carry with it.
Are you a big boy?
No, sir. I'm about 185, 180.
Oh, okay. All right. So then the officers come out. Is this guy crying during all this? Is he squealing? What's he doing?
I think he's done this more than once, so he was just sitting there.
You think he's been arrested more than once?
Or yeah, probably, because it seemed like he was just sitting there. I don't know.
Did you, what went through your mind during all this? You had to recognize that while this situation had turned out with minimal damage to you and the family, that this was a situation that, I mean, this could have been your last moment on earth. I mean, this very easily and more than likely would have turned out with the opposite result. Was that going through your mind at that point?
Yes, sir. I was scared to death that what if they come out of there with fully automatic weapons and I only have this piece of one gun. So I was more scared for my little kids than anybody else and my wife. I would have done everything that I could to save them.
Did the kids witnessed all this?
The 7-year-old was shook up pretty bad last night. He was shaking. I had to sit there and talk to him about good and wrong, and he's fine today, but I think he's still a little bit shaken up.
Did you go to work today?
No, sir. I did not.
Did Mama go to work?
My wife did, sir. I walked her out in the parking lot this morning at 3 a.m. to go work for Starbucks.
Oh, wow. Wow. So what do you take away from this?
What I learned was everybody that has a family or think they're safe, they're not. Because people are out there. It's desperate times. You know, everybody's trying to make a quick buck. And I work hard for what we have. And, you know, I don't want this to happen to anybody. Just you guys be careful that have kids that think you're invisible, but you're not. Always look at your surroundings, because they're out there looking for easy pickings, so be careful.
It's interesting. I posted on my Facebook page, and then we sent out on the blast, which just went out a little earlier. When you and I talked earlier today, you said that, was it the district attorney's office or Precinct 5 constables that took your gun during the investigation, which they have to do?
Yes, sir.
And I asked you, you have not purchased a new gun.
I haven't yet.
Okay. Well, you talked about getting a gun for yourself in the interim and a gun for your wife. And I don't know what your other situation is, but I have put the word out, and I'm starting to get emails back. So I suspect that by the time I get off the air today, we're at least going to have some guns donated and ammunition and all that good stuff to you and the family. And the people at Top Gun want to take care of your shooting for the rest of your life.
Wow.
Because this is a great example of preparation. I mean, nobody loves the police more than I do. I mean, heck, the 15-year-old kid that we got behind his case who had to shoot the two guys that came into his house. You know, his home had been burgled before. That kid's daddy, the very home that was being burgled, should I say, was a home of a law enforcement official. He was a Precinct 5 deputy for Abercy. So you can't always, in your case, proves this. As much as we love the police officers and as much as we support them when they're wounded and help them get the body armor they need and the pay that they deserve to protect us, and we want to show them that we appreciate them, the reality is, in most cases, the first line of defense is going to have to be the homeowner. And if that line of defense is not there, then we're going to be calling the mortuary. We're going to be calling the at least an ambulance, if not worse, and they're going to become a victim. And had you not been prepared, did you not have your concealed handgun license, had you not prepared your wife, had you not done the things necessary, who knows? Who knows how this thing would have turned out? We still don't know what those have they caught the other two?
One's still at large. But they know where they live, sir. They already got. I think one's yeah. They know the other one. Like I said, he pretty much spilled the beans where everybody was, where they're from, what area of the town. So.
Channel 13 reported that your hand was banged up from the chaos. What happened?
Well, when I was trying to go in the opposite direction, I was looking at my kids and wife, and I didn't pay attention to where I was going, and I tripped and did a roll maneuver using my thumb, and part of the nail came off, but I was still able to do my thing and, you know, do what I have to do to save my family.
Well, I tell you what, Ephraim, I will be in touch with you at 7 o'clock when I get off tonight. Hopefully by then we'll have you some guns for you and Mom, some ammunition. I'm just going through emails. I want to make sure that we get that squared away and get all the title transfers and all that good stuff done. You'll get to shoot for life at Top Gun Range, and I'm sure there's going to be other people out there that are going to say, well, bring Mom and the kids to our restaurant for dinner and bring over here as you make it through this time. Interesting, this is not the first time I have received this, because we talk a lot about this issue, homeowners defending themselves. There is a recommendation that came in from a listener that says, here it is, Michael, make sure you recommend to this gentleman that he read the book On Killing by Major Grossman. It is a therapeutic book to help people with the nightmares that can sometimes accompany having to shoot someone in the defense of yourself or someone else. The book is called On Killing. I'll get that for you. And,
Thank you.
And maybe we can meet at Mama's Starbucks, and I can hand you that and hand over all the other good stuff. And Ephraim, the point of the story is be prepared, because it's the obligation for you and your family. In this case, proves that. And the good news is you're well and the family's well, and even the bad guys didn't have to go meet their maker under such horrible, horrible terms. Congratulations, sir. You are a real hero, and I'll be forwarding some of these emails to you so that you can see that people out there really respect what you did in the heat of battle.
Thank you, Michael. I appreciate your help and everything else. You guys are awesome, and please, anybody that has a family, protect yourself, because, you know, nothing's safe anymore. We live in this beautiful town, but some other folks, they have other agendas that they want to do, so just be careful.
Yes, they do. Ephraim, thanks for being our guest.